Hi, welcome to Lesson 25, Session 3. Today we're going to be continuing the work that we've been doing over the last couple days with converting measurements. Up until now, for the most part, we've been converting larger units into smaller units. And today we're going to learn how to do the opposite of that. I would say almost the inverse operation because we're going to be converting smaller units into larger units. And so let me just give you a little hint that if we multiply to make larger units into smaller units, what operation might we use to go from a smaller unit to a larger unit? That's right, we're going to divide. So you will see that we will be doing much of what we were doing yesterday, just using division instead of multiplication. We're going to be working on pages 519 through 524 today. And we will, so go ahead and go into your Ready Classroom Math Workbook and go to page 519. So on page 519, we are asked to do this problem. We are asked to find out how many quarts are equivalent to 6 cups. So 1 quart equals 4 cups. So what we learned in the past, what we've learned is that we are going to multiply when we convert a larger unit to a smaller unit. Well, now, when we will divide when we convert a smaller unit to a larger unit. So for example, if we had 38 feet and we wanted to convert it into yards, we would need to take the 38 feet that we had, we would divide it by 3 feet because there are 3 feet in 1 yard, and then we would get a fraction as our answer, and then we could change this fraction into a mixed number. Or if we were doing this with the metric system, if we had the smaller unit of centimeters, 247 centimeters, and we wanted to convert it into meters, into a larger unit, we start with 247 centimeters. We're going to divide by 100 because there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. That gives us 247 over 100. Or we know that there's this imaginary decimal here at the end of the problem. We could count our 2 zeros and move our decimal over 2 place values to get 2 and 47 hundredths meters. So we will be doing division. So using what I just kind of shared with you very quickly there, we're going to go ahead and look at what the problem that we're asked. So the smaller unit is cups. So we're going to start with the 6 cups that we have. And we're going to divide because we are starting with the smaller unit, and we're going to divide 6 by the number of cups there are in 1 quart. And there are 4 cups in 1 quart. So we're going to divide divide it by 4 cups because there are 4 cups in 1 quart. Now remember, this was a little tricky for some of you to remember last week, but remember that when we have the expression or the equation 6 divided by 4, we can rewrite this as a fraction using the fraction bar as our division sign. So 6 divided by 4 is the same as 6 divided by 4, because this means we have 6 cups and there's 4 cups in a whole, and so we're going to find out how many cups are in. We're trying to find out how many cups are in 1 quart. So now we need to take this improper fraction and change it into a mixed number. So 6/4 is the same as 4/4 plus 2/4. So we know that that equals 1 and 2/4, or we could reduce it to 1 and 1/2. So we would say 1 and 1/2 quarts are equivalent to 6 cups. Now, another way we could do this is we could draw a picture. And so if we wanted to draw a picture, we could look and go, okay, well, I know that there are 1 quart is 4 cups. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 quart is 4 cups. So this would be like 1 whole. But I don't have 4 cups. I have 6 cups. So I need to draw another quart. But this time I'm still going to break it into fourths because there's 4 cups in a quart. And then I have a 5th cup and a 6th cup. I don't have a 7th or 8th cup, so I can't fill those. So here I have a half of a quart because this quart is half full with cups 5 and 6. So here I could see that I have 1 and 1/2 quarts of milk. All right, let's go to page 520. Okay, on page 520, we see that it says we can use a table to help us understand the problem. The table below shows the relationship between cups and quarts. So 1 quart is 4 cups, 2 quarts is 8 cups, 3 quarts is 12, and so on and so forth. Now, we could use the information from the table to understand how to solve the problem. The pattern in the table shows that there are 4 cups in every quart. So there are 4 cups in every quart. Now we could look here and we could see that we could know that if we divide 6 divided by 4, I don't want to do that just yet. I'm jumping the gun. All right, so if I have 6 divided by 4, that equals 6 divided by 4, or 6/4. So our answer is 6/4, or you could write it as a mixed number as 1 and 1/2. Because we know that, honestly, 6 is halfway between 4 and 8. So that would be another way for us to know that this would be 1/2. Now, if we go on to the next page, it says, which is a smaller unit, a cup or a quart or a cup? That's right. Since there are 4 cups in 1 quart, we know that a cup is the smaller unit. So how do we know that? There are 4 cups in 1 quart. So since 4 cups can fit into 1 quart, that means that cups are smaller. Now, what operation do you use to convert a smaller measurement unit to a larger measurement unit? So remember, when we were converting a larger to a smaller, we multiplied. So when we're converting a smaller to a larger, we need to do the inverse operation, and we need to divide. So 6 cups is how many quarts? We decided it was 6/4, or 1 and 1/2 quarts. Now, we already wrote our answer in the table over here. And then it says we know that we divided 6 by 4 to get 6/4, which equals 1/2. We divided by 4 because there are 4 cups in 1 quart. Then number 4 says, use what you learned about the relationship between cups and quarts to complete the table below. So we're going to go ahead and figure out. So 1 quart is 4 cups. So 2 cups is only going to be a half of a quart. 5 cups is going to be, well, remember we're always going to divide it by 4. So 5 divided by 4 is 5/4, because we divide the number of cups, we divide the number of cups by the number of cups in 1 quart to get our answer. So the number of cups divided by the number of quarts in 1 cup gives us our answer of 5 and 5/4, or 1 and 1/4. 2 quarts is 8 cups. To do 9 cups, we would do 9/4, because 9 divided by 4, or that would be 2 and 1/4. 3 quarts is 12 cups. 15 cups would be 15 divided by 4, or 3 and 3/4 cups. And then 4 quarts is 16 cups. So remember, to find out how many quarts there are, we're taking the number of cups and dividing it by 4. And that's why I wrote, well, here it would have been this, 2/4, because 2 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4. 9 divided by 4. 15 divided by 4. Remember that that fraction line means divided by. So number 5 says 1 gallon is equivalent to 8 pints. How do we convert from pints to gallons? So we would divide the number of pints we have by 8, since there are 8 pints in 1 gallon. And then finally, for the reflection, we've used many different strategies. We've used equations, we've used pictures, we've used tables. Which strategy is the strategy that helps you the most when you're converting smaller units to larger units? When you're done writing that down, you can unpause the video and go to page 522, and we'll do number 7, 8, and 9 together. So number 7 says this: how many kilometers is equal to 800 meters? Now, we are going to need this math reference sheet because they don't give us the numbers here. So if we need to know how many meters there are in, how many meters are in 1 kilometer, we're going to come over to our metric system, and we're going to see that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So I'm going to write that down. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Then we're going to take these meters that we have, the smaller unit, since the meters are smaller than kilometers, we're going to start with our 800, and then we're going to divide 800 by 1,000, because we divide by the number of units in 1 kilometer. And then that's going to equal, I like to write my 800, and then I'm going to move my decimal, my imaginary decimal over here, over 3 places. 1, 2, 3, and then I like to add that 0. So the answer is 8/10 kilometers. So there are 800 meters in 8/10 kilometers. Or 8/10 kilometers is equal or equivalent to 800 meters. Number 8 asks us how many yards are equal to 25 feet. Show your work. Well, we know that we have 25 feet, and we're going to divide it by how many feet are in 1 yard. And that is 3, because there are 3 feet in 1 yard. And then that's going to give us our total number of yards. So 25 divided by 3 is 25 divided by 3. Now we know that I'm going to go ahead and use our long division. If we have 25 and 3, 3 cannot go into 2, so we'll cross that out. 3 goes into 25, 8 times 3 is 24. Then we subtract. So remember, this 8 is our whole number, or our whole number. This 1 is our numerator, and this 3 is our denominator. So 8 and 1/3 yards, 8 and 1/3 yards are equivalent to 25 feet. Finally, on number 9, it says, which of the following measures is equivalent to 3,300 grams? So if we come over here, we're trying to figure out, our choices are kilograms and grams. So if we come over here, we see that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So we're going to take our smaller unit, which is 3,300 300 because grams are much smaller than kilograms. And then we're going to divide it by 1,000 because there are 1,000 kilograms. There are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. And then that is going to give us, we're going to take our imaginary decimal here at the end. We're going to move it to the left because we are dividing 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And that gives us letter C, 3 3/10 kilometers. Now there's a couple of kilograms, There's a couple of zeros here. Those zeros, you can take them off because they're at the end, and that's how you get the 3 3/10 kilograms. You're going to go ahead and do pages 523 and 524 on your own. And then if you have any questions, you can always email your teacher.